land of the free, and home of the brave. This week on the Best of the West, we're honored to accompany soldiers into a different field of battle, where soldiers can enjoy what they fought to defend.
When one hears the word hero, many different images may come to their mind. Maybe it's a comic book character, a teacher, a parent, a grandparent. For me, my hero is my friend of 32 years, Sergeant Scott Muirhead of the United States Army. And not only are we taking him on his first big game hunt ever, but we're doing it in South Africa. Welcome to the Best of the West. About 2 years ago, I had the distinct honor and privilege of being the spokesperson at a banquet dinner for the Wild Sheep Foundation. After my keynote address, Tony and Yorka de Bruin from Wild Wildebeest Safaris approached me with an idea. They said they love our country, they love freedom, they love their country, and they support the right to hunt and fish all around the world. They said it was very important to them that they recognize somebody who fights for those freedoms. They talked to me about it and I said, I don't think I'm your guy. I have all my fingers, I have all my toes, and while I was deployed, I didn't feel like I deserved what they had in mind. They looked at me dead in the eye and said, then you're the one that's gonna help us find the right person. You will be their chaperone. You will come to Africa. So the search began to find the right couple to bring to South Africa to hunt at Wild Wildebeest Safaris, with my wife and son and I as their chaperone. And after a relatively exhaustive search, we came back to my friend, Sergeant Scott Muirhead in the United States Army. I disclosed to them right away, hey, this guy's been my friend for 3 decades. But after some discussion, they said he's perfect. Even though he never hunted big game, we knew we were gonna take him on a safari.
My name is Walter Scott Muirhead. I'm in the United States Army. I've been in the Army for over 16 years. I met Dan in 2nd grade and have known him for over 30 years. He asked me if I knew anybody that would be interested in going on a hunt that was a wounded warrior. I said, I'll see what I can do. And we hung up after that conversation. I thought about it, and not more than 5 minutes later, Dan had called me back. And he said, Scott, that wounded warrior is you. Now, we were conducting a quick reaction force operation in north of Mosul. Early into that shift, started taking some small arms fire, and I went to check on the Iraqi Army soldiers that were on rooftops. The rooftop that I happened to go up on started taking heavy RPG fire and small arms fire. I decided to get myself and that sergeant off and get back with the remainder of the platoon. As I kneeled down to get off the rooftop, another insurgent had opened fire on me with an AK-47, hitting me in my front body armor and also through my right leg. From that point, I was pulled back with that sergeant applying manual pressure and ultimately medevaced back to Mosul, where I was evacuated out of country and all the way back to the States, where I recovered after 24 months of physical therapy. I'm still currently in the Army serving. Plan on staying in as long as I can. I enjoy what I do. I'm a Cavalry Scout, and really appreciate serving our country.
When the Best of the West returns, Sergeant First Class Scott Muirhead gets his safari off to a great start. We'll also head to Wyoming to join up with the Purple Heart Outdoor Tour and meet some more great American soldiers.
Beautiful black.
The Best of the West is brought to you by the Wild Sheep Foundation, Cryptek Camo, Hawkins Precision, Defiance Machine, Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable, Huskamaw Optics, and LongRangeStore.com.
Dan brought the Best of the West shooting rifles, which are very nice hunting rifles. I was impressed from the minute that I saw them. Dan was using the 7mm hunting rifle, and I was using the 300 Win Mag to go ahead and get confidence in the weapon system and get some practice at shooting. Dan had a pretty good shot group, put a little bit of pressure on me to make sure that my marksmanship fundamentals were in line and accurate. Definitely walked away with a lot of confidence in that weapon system and my abilities. Tony said, let's mount up and get in the vehicles and go, so we went out, and within, I'd say 5 minutes, we began seeing animals. We came onto a spot where there was an elevated blind. Tony told me instantly, without hesitation, Scott, go ahead and get up there. You're gonna take your first shot at a wildebeest. I got into position, had a very good sight picture on the wildebeest. I took the shot and brought the wildebeest down right there. Didn't even move more than, I'd say, 20 yards. Walking towards the wildebeest, I had never been that close to that animal before in my life. Really a unique animal to look at and be that close.
What amazing first day already here at Wild Wildebeest Safaris with Tony and Dean. Got my great friend Sergeant Scott Muirhead here, his first big game hunt ever. We've already observed some incredible sable, some blesbuck. We came around the corner by this water hole and it was just covered up in the beautiful blue wildebeest. And after a couple minutes of glassing, Tony picked out a big mature bull. Well, you can see Army strong, perfect shot. Congratulations, Scott. Way to go. Welcome to Africa. To everybody, what a way to start a safari.
Thank you very much, Dan.
Great job. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you so much, brothers.
Awesome.
Good shot, good shot.
Great job, everybody.
From the open savannas of South Africa to the foothills of Cody, Wyoming, let's now join up with retired Lieutenant